Welcome back, and we're in week 5 of draft. Let's have a look at Team Theta highlights. Obviously, this week we don't have the lower leagues playing as many games, but we've got Dusi up against Semi-Naked Chef here in the Kingslayer. So we're including those games. Decent lead for Chef, and he's responded with Galvantula here. He's throwing the lunge, which is the right play, and then I imagine he'll shield here and probably lunge again. It's a pretty close matchup, this one, but maintaining switch is pretty important for him at the moment because he's got a really great lead in that Medicham on the Stunfisk. All right, so another move coming through here. He threw the discharge there. Lunge probably would have KO'd anyway. Now he's got a bit of an issue. I'm not sure he would have survived this foul play anyway. But that one goes through, and that's KO'd in there. So he'll come in and get some energy here, which is really good as long as Dus doesn't have a huge... Oh, actually, he's chickened out there and he's thrown the rock slide. So we'll just have to see what Dus has got in response to Stunfisk here. And he's brought in his own Stunfisk, so that's not a good sign. It gets to the Earthquake. Oh, and he's swapped. What's it into here? Let's have a bit of a look. But perfect swap by Dus. Oh, it's a Tropius. He's giving himself every chance here to win this game. It's Air Slash, which isn't as good, but does get to its charge moves quicker. First Rock Slide coming through. Tropius is a bit of a tank, so Leaf Blade coming through here. Just wonder, he should be able to get to another Rock Slide here. So, yeah, it's still going to be super tight, but I think at this stage, Chef's probably got it. He's swapping there, countering down. So he comes in here. The Earthquake will come through. But he's got to get to 2 Earthquakes. So let's just see what he decides. Gets the Earthquake through. Geez, almost KO'd there. He's throwing the Psychic. Probably go the Ice Punch there. Obviously, Psychic's resisted, whereas the Ice Punch does hit for neutral because of the ground typing. Move coming through here. But yeah, I still think he's just a little bit ahead on energy here and should be able to get to the Rock Slide to KO. And yeah, Dus has hit the trigger here, hoping the Rock Slide's going to KO, and I don't think it will from that range. It just does basically nothing. So Chef gets to the Rock Slide, and his should KO from there. He's missed a bubble or two, but well played. Great game, guys, and congrats to Chef on getting through. All right, second game we've got here. It looks like Theta versus... who's that? That must be Lloyd. So, yeah, terrible lead for Theta, and he's got a little bit of play now on the swap. But he's going to get confusioned all the way down, I would say. So Lloyd's going to end up with a fair bit of energy here. But he'll probably shield this, knowing it's super effective against his Gallade. So he shields that and farms all the way down here. So he'll have a couple of Leaf Blades coming through. And he's gone into the Swampert here, so he's going to have to double shield for sure. It's just a question on whether or not he can get to the next move in time. So yeah, the second one coming through. Look, he's at the move. He should be able to KO the Gallade, but what's he going to do here? Build up some more energy. And there's the swap. So Hydro coming through, and he's swapped into the Togekiss here. So this is actually really good. He'll be able to get to the second Hydro here, and that'll KO the Togekiss. So we'll get an opportunity to see what's in the back here. And he's brought the Gallade back in, and oh yeah, he's transferred the Confusion onto the Machamp there. And it's Toxie, so interesting. So Toxie's got one counter through, and he's throwing the Rock Slide here, which is resisted. Probably just go the Cross Chop, I think. And the Toxie's up to 4 counters now. And he's throwing the, also resisted the Cross Chop, but I think it's slightly more DPE. So he's up to about 6 now, and he's throwing the move. Maybe one short of a Sludge, but he's gone for the Mud Bomb there. So is he going double Mud Bomb? Unfortunately, he's not going to get the opportunity, so Theta grabs the win there. Not sure, maybe going the extra counter there. Oh, getting to the Sludge Bomb. Anyway, we're moving into Team Antag highlights here. And this is going to be pretty cringeworthy. So pretty sort of neutral lead in this game. Lloyd's going to Superpower and Dip, which is pretty much expected. And look, it's as cringy as this is, it's good to be able to review your game. So I've ended up staying in there, and then I've gone into Palkia. I've got a Lugia in the back. Should have gone into Lugia. not really thinking about the matchup. To be honest with you, hard read on his team. May have even been worth staying in with the Metagross and actually pressuring Shields and just letting the Metagross go down, because he's going to maintain switch here, and I'm not sure why I didn't go into my Lugia, because obviously his Melmetal is super effective against it, so it would have been good to swap it into the Gyarados, and the Gyarados wins that matchup. So I would have won switch, and I would have had a Palkia in the back for the Groudon. So yeah, look, silly mistake, but Lloyd capitalised on it as he needs to, and yeah, well played by him. But yeah, it's always good. It's always good advice to review your games, even if you have a shocker. Everyone has a shocker every now and then, but as you can see here, Melmetal absolutely walls Lugia. Yeah, just sort of. Yeah, I guess, and it's a good reason to not play your GBL games either if you're not feeling it. But basically, we had to get our games done, and he was ready, so yeah, we played. And yeah, he played exceptionally well. And look, if you're not on your game and you're not thinking about how you're playing, it lets a really good opponent like Lloyd in, and he only needs a little bit of a crack in the door to get through. So well played, absolutely trashed me in this game. Did do a nice swap there at the end. At this stage, I knew I'd lost and just wanted to at least practice my move counting a little bit. But yeah, yeah, well played, and the Groudon's going to finish off here. So GG's. All right, we move into the next game. The next game is Theta versus Lloyd. These guys played out some really close games. It's kind of neutral lead here. Dragonite will obviously... he's tried to catch a move there on the Snorlax. Not a bad play, but unfortunately now the S-Cav's got the upper hand. So first drill run coming through. And yeah, this is getting the Snorlax pretty low. And the Gengar's definitely going to have a lot of play as a result of this. So he's going back-to-back superpowers here. Obviously this one will do less damage. Still does a fair chunk though, but he'll be able to Theta will be able to counter down now, so in a reasonable position. Dragonite comes back in. This will be resisted. See what Theta decides to do here. And he's let that go. Can he get to the move? Oh, well played. Yep, let it go. Confident that he was going to survive the Dragon Claw, and he'll be able to get Mega Horn off here. Not bad. So throwing straight away on the Gengar. Doesn't want to get Dragon Breath down here. And Lloyd's letting that go. And what's he got in the back? He's got an Empoleon, so at this stage he's counting on the waterfall damage. And he's going to get it done there. And what's going to be in the back now? Oh, it's Machamp. So this is going to be a super tight matchup. He's got some energy here. These drill pecks are super effective, but that Machamp is just going to town. He's not even going to... Oh, he's going to throw. That in the end is probably going to decide this game. Probably shouldn't have thrown there, because he's not going to get to another move here. And in throwing the move, he's missing out on one counter worth of energy. So bang, and the waterfall damage means it's a double KO. So if had Theta just countered down instead of throwing that cross drop, he would have won that game. But a great game in the end anyway. Well played to both guys there. Anyway, we're into another one of Lloyd versus me. He was smashing me. He'd smashed me in the first two games. I was playing absolutely terribly in this game. Couldn't ask for a worse lead. He had his Giratina Origin on my Kyogre. It was looking like a 3-0 smashing at this stage, but say swapping in the Gira A's, he ended up staying in a little bit too long with his Giratina O before swapping out. Perhaps a little bit unsure on what to do, but he's gone into his Groudon here, and forcing the shield on that Giratina Origin at the start was really, really good play. So basically on the safe swap, Giratina can take some moves, and it's basically already done its job, and that was forcing the shield on the Gira O, and now I can just farm down. Now I can just let myself get farmed down, just throw the move here. The Groudon's pretty low, but it's out of energy. So I can now come back in with the Kyogre and just get a little bit of energy. He's obviously going to come back in with the Giratina O. And he's going to throw the Ominous Wind here. I've blocked that. Basically, my goal here is to at least try and pressure a shield. by building up to the Blizzard. He's now throwing the Shadow Ball. I've shielded again there. And at this stage, I'm now at the Blizzard, and he's called the bait here. He decides not to shield, and he calls the bait. And because I've got 2 Surfs, I was always going to throw the Surfs because I can still pressure the shield, and I get the shield here, and that was the goal. Now, at this stage, little does he know I've got a Metagross in the back, and it cannot see this Giratina. So I'm waiting for him to throw the Shadow Ball, and then I'm switching straight into the Metagross, and I'm hoping I can farm down before he gets the Shadow Ball, and I just managed to do it. And I had a bit of a read that he might have something weak to Metagross in the back, and this was the perfect Mon. So Earthquake coming through, and I managed to salvage 1 win out of that game, so I was happy and I was going to take that. And now we've got Rick Nevolt versus Ash, and we've got a bit of Flying Cup action here. These games are nice and fast, so he's got a terrific lead here. There's not too much the Gliscor can do here. Gligar is probably the preferred Mon in this league because it can run return if you've got a purified one. Unfortunately, this Gliscor, it's got nothing it can really hurt the man team with, and he's thrown the Bubble Beam there. So, yeah, and basically these Night Slashes, it can be pretty spammy, but it's just got no big move to threaten any shields, so it's a pretty comfortable situation here. He's built up a little bit of extra energy. He's throwing the Bubble Beam. Attack's dropped again. He's got a little bit extra here. Let's see what Ash decides to bring in. He's brought in his Aerodactyl, and this is a terrific situation for Rich. He can just Bubble Beam here and let his Mon go down. Just Bubble Beam does a lot. But with the nerf, he can then farm down with his own Aerodactyl. And what's Ash got in the back? Okay, he's got Scarm. So just do as much damage as you can. Feathers flying everywhere here. It looks like that the Scarm must be running Steel Wing, which is extra good against Aerodactyl. And yeah, so he's done as much damage as he could, but he wants to make sure he gets in here and doesn't get farmed all the way down, so it's good tactic. And the power of Dragon Breath is what we get out of this lot, and it's a crazy amount. So yeah, he's basically just going to be able to double shield here. Another one coming through, he can shield that too. Could also survive one, but he's going to get to another Sky Attack here, and the Dragon Breath's just going to Dragon Breath down the Scarm. And even if he didn't quite get there, that Aerodactyl's probably got 1 or 2 more Rock Throws in it, which would definitely KO the Scarm, so well played there. Alright, so we go to results this week, and look, things are still pretty tight. Antag's team have made a little bit of headway, but unfortunately the runaway train continues. So yeah, it's probably at this stage probably almost impossible for Team Pick to lose. And yeah, and here we've got a bit of a special surprise for you because we didn't have that many vids this week. We have a battle I just happened to be watching a stream and a familiar name popped up. I got onto it as quickly as I could. The name is Epic Cactus, and he'll be back in the Kingslayer a little bit later on, and he'll be joining us next season in draft as one of our team captains. So it'll be good to have him back. But let's get into his game. So yeah, he's playing a streamer known as London. Look, he's a pretty decent sort of streamer. But yeah, he's sort of he's hovering around 2400s at the moment. Yeah, he's a really fun bloke. Anyway, we've got Sableye here, and it's versus Epic's Altaria. He's going to go down another shield here, and he's just got to hope he can farm this thing down the whole way. But he's going to get to another Sky Attack here, so London not playing the best, and he's going to have to double shield here. Puts Epic in a great position, but he couldn't give away all that energy. So let's see what Epic does here. He's brought in his Melmetal. Now the Melmetal is probably going to have to double shield here, at least shield once, because these foul plays do a lot. So another one coming through now. But yeah, it looks like he's going to try and Thundershock down here. So he's going to have a hell of a lot of energy for what's in the back. And another foul play coming through now. You have to shield this one. Now, we didn't see the start of the battle, but he's actually... the Empoleon's actually got some energy here, and he's tried to snipe him, but he's got out, but Epic got out into his Politoed, so he saw what was happening there, predicted that the Sableye would swap out after its other move, and unfortunately Politoed, so spammy, and it's a bit of a wall to to Empoleon. And yeah, so that's the end of that. And he obviously had the Charizard in the back. So well on Cactus. And speaking of Cactus being in the Kingslayer, so here we've got a bit of a short of what's been happening. Fish League's beat Post Malone today, so he's gone through. Ducey lost to Semi-Naked Chef, so Chef's got to play Hawk Aussie. And Captain B's pushed through as well. So we'll see how the last of Tier A's go this week. And then we'll be kicking off and finishing off the Kingslayer. Thanks for watching.